Poor band conditions. Not a lot of stuff going on, but you can always count on the European Ham Radio Show on Sundays. We're not doing more RF than from your Wi-Fi hotspot to your mobile device or your computer. So we're going to manage that no matter how bad the band conditions are. And below me is Stuart. He's going to talk about
Hello,
Station
everybody.
Master today after we do our round of the Ham Radio Moment of the Week. And let's start with you, Tobias. What's your ham radio moment of the week?
Ham radio moment. I have a garden moment of the week. I found this little fellow this morning in the garden.
Hang on. I'm going to try to do some fancy producing here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know where he came from because there's no wood or something to hide. But hey, he was wandering around my garden. Then ham radio moments. Yeah, I managed to cut down on weight on my portable NFET half wave. So this is the old variant with 228 grams. And this is the new variant with 29 grams, right? So I've lost 200 grams and can carry extra chocolate bars now in my bicycle bag. And what else do I have here? Yeah, of course, I cut the NFET half wave. And if you cut your own NFET half wave, you have the benefit of just putting it bang into the middle of the band that you're interested in. So obviously,
nice.
This is a 20-meter NFET half wave, so you cut it for 20. And then I made a video about how to install the QMX Plus, QMX or QMX Plus SSB firmware. Hans, I think it was 2nd of May, Friday, released the official SSB firmware. So I was still filming this video on beta 9, but I think it does make a difference. It should still apply to the official firmware. I just need to add a few overlays to catch up with the speed that Hans is throwing out official firmware versions. So yeah, that was my ham radio week, basically.
That's not bad. And we got a comment here from November 8th, SDR. He says there's a lot of echo here. I don't know if anyone else hears that. If so, we'll figure out where it comes from.
It was the first few seconds after we came on.
Okay. Then I guess we're good now. Jürgen, what's your ham radio moment of the week?
Yeah, hey, good evening. First of all, there was no echo on my end. Lots of preparing for the trip in 10 days. Thinking about which radio I'm taking with me, which battery, which antennas, which mast on the trip to the United States. Because you may know, folks, we're going to Dayton on May 14th. And then, on the way from Washington to Dayton, I hope to make some Parks on the activations. Then I played around with my iRadio, not the Apple iRadio, but this cheap Chinese iRadio. And I made a third video about it today. I think the video will be released tomorrow or on Tuesday. And on May 1st was a national holiday, and there was the All-Austrian contest, or they call it All-Austrian exercise. And I participated just a little bit, just enough to not make it into the ranking. And that was my ham radio week so far.
Nice. Not bad, not bad. And have you landed on any radios to take to Dayton?
Maybe the 891. I'm not sure. It can be also the FX4CR because of the weight. We will see.
Yeah.
Because I have first I was thinking about not taking a battery with me, maybe to buy a battery in the States, or I don't know. Connecting the radio to the car battery and operate from the car, but I guess when I'm in the park, I want to sit out there and I want to operate from the battery. So maybe my old 7 amp hour LiFePO 4 battery and the FX4CR, I'm not sure.
That sounds good. HD wise, just anything or any plans there?
anything, yeah, maybe my good old Yaesu FT60.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to use, easy to set things on it. Yeah. Or I take my DMR radio with me, I'm not sure, and the hotspot. We will see. At the end, I have to put everything on a scale, and then I will see how heavy the whole package is. And yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
Sounds good. I was actually fishing for a radio that's open for the US bands.
My radios are all open. They are all Mars modded. That's the first thing I do. The first thing I do when I unbox it. Yeah, Mars modding.
That's smart. And Stuart, you probably have a ham radio moment of the week. You told us a little bit about it backstage.
Well, every hour is a ham radio moment of the week for me. It never stops. But today, I guess an hour before the show started, I made version 3 of my desktop logging software live. So big thanks to all the beta testers. I'll show a list in a minute. There's about 10, 15 beta testers that have been helping me get to this point, and I know a few of them are watching. So thank you very much, you guys. And we'll look at the software in a minute. So yeah, about 2 hours ago was my ham radio moment of the week, and it's been about 6 months in the making. So there we go.
Yep, that is
awesome.
Good. That is good.
Very good.
We're going to hear more about that later on. Kjetil, any ham radio moments?
Yes, I've been doing summits on the air this week. 3 activations. Beautiful weather, at least sunny. Looks beautiful on the photos. It's been windy, very windy, and like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. So it's been chilly up there, but still beautiful hikes and activations. And even with somewhat rough conditions that most of us have noticed this week, like random up and down conditions, managed to activate. Also did a combined parks on the air and bunkers on the air activation, which was very cool because it started raining a lot. But that was nice. And I've also done a lot of social stuff with hams, like talked with people, had some really good conversations with different people online, and just enjoying the ham community.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I guess, Bob, you have some news to share.
I do, but I will share. Let's see if I'm sharing. I think
I'm going to add to stage since both you and Stuart have things you need to put it up manually.
Yeah, I just have to mention this before I go on to mention other things. This is, of course, Yaesu. Kind of surprised me, at least, with the add-on to the FTX1, is it? I think. Which is basically Yaesu's idea of a 705, and they managed to create a bolt-on 100-watt unit for it. So I sent an email to Ham Radio CO UK. What was his first name? Martin Lynch, was it? We agreed last week.
Yep, I think we agreed upon that.
Yeah, and asked if I could trade my place in line for the field version for the what's it called? This the complete version or something with the 100-watt unit on it, and I could. Yeah. So basically,
get all the add-ons. I think there was quite some discussion in the German YouTube crowd about all the extras that they want to sell us, like a Bluetooth module and some other modules.
I don't care about Bluetooth, and I don't care about a tuner that's attached to the radio. That's the wrong place for a tuner, if you ask me. So basically, I think this kit is going to be all I need. But really looking forward to getting that radio, and I think probably sometimes in the month of May that will arrive and get sent to me. So that was just
we want
getting
a video from you on your YouTube channel then.
There will be videos on this radios.
And
sure.
I was going to say, if you somehow haven't realized that the Yaesu is coming out with a new radio, you haven't been watching Ham Radio YouTube this weekend.
You haven't been watching it for the last 3 months, I think. There's been a continuously increasing buzz about this radio, and I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. I'm banking on that because it's not an inexpensive radio. That's for sure.
It is not, but I see a good point here because you have that plug-in 100-watt unit, which means you can have that at home, and you can just take the front part off and go portable. So it's basically 2 radios in one.
Or you can keep the 100-watt unit in your car, and you can take the head unit off just for going portable. Or you can bring even the 100-watt unit for going portable. I complained all the time, and last week at the latest, that there are no new 100 watts all mode all band radios. Well, now there is.
Yeah.
And looking very much forward to that one. And this is going to be one of I think many months above ham radio moments. So I'll just skip past that. I just had to mention it because I'm really looking forward to getting this radio.
And what is it called again? Because it'd be logical to call it the FD819, but it's not.
FTX one something, I think it's called. Yeah, that's it. And more actual things that I've done. I did the APRS with Pocket Packet today. That was great fun. It's a little application for the iPhone. That means you can do all the cool things that APRS can do, but in a sensible way, not having to struggle with the 2x2 pixel screen on the HT and the 10 the numeric keypad. So that was fun. That's I've been doing that. Other than that, I wanted to make a sleeve dipole, which is short of a normal dipole. That's probably the easiest dipole or easiest antenna you can make. But I managed to complicate it to the point where it didn't work at all. So this is a remnant of my my sleeve dipole project. Very high ambitions and very, very disappointing results. But my ham radio moment, the big ham radio moments of the week, is of course I managed to get my Mountain Goat Award. Finally, 3 years in the making. That's 1,000 points for Summits on the Air. And I should have some more stats on what that entails. But I think I'm going to make a small video commemorating all the summits, all the many, many thousands of elevation meters I've walked for this. But I'm really happy. Been looking, actually working towards this for 3 years. I don't think I've ever worked towards something for as long in my life, actually. So very happy.
That is fast, like 3 years, and insanely interesting to follow you, and like encouraging to see how much effort you put into it, and how much of that you've shared with people. That's so important in the hobby.
Yeah, it's nice you see it that way. I don't always feel I'm sharing so much of it, but I try to get other people enthusiastic at least. So that's. It's been thank you so much for all the congrats in the chat, people. That's very nice.
It's an impressive achievement, Bob.
I'm really, really happy with it. How do I let's stop sharing? Let's try. Yep. So that was clearly my ham radio moment of the week. And how about you, Morten? Any interesting ham radio moments?
It's been a week of, let's call it, bad band conditions and dipoles. Started when I opened, as probably you guys know, I'm sponsored by AliExpress, and I get usually good things from them. But I got this 4-to-1 balun, which was the poorest assembly job I've ever seen. And I emailed AliExpress and said, you probably don't want to see me make a video in this. And then I added, but of course I could make a video of me fixing the balun, so it's going to work. And they replied within a couple of hours, really enthusiastic and liked that fixing the balun video. So that's what I did. Turned out okay-ish. Plan to go out and do some portable with that, but band conditions were not good. I had 4 QSOs in 45 minutes on Thursday and 1 QSO in 45 minutes yesterday, both on QRP. So I figured I'd needed some more oomph. So I built a 100-watt dipole instead. That works a lot better. Went out for POTA today. Let's call it changing band conditions. Not very good, but at least I got Steve in Nova Scotia. And I'm not sure if you're here, Steve. Victor Echo 1 Sierra Kilo. He's usually somewhere in the chat or around here. But he came booming in with about a 5.7, I think. Besides that, no strong stations. So dipole, fun to be out with a dipole. Forget how much hassle it is to set up a dipole portable. But besides that, I'm probably going out with an NFED the next time again. So I guess the moment of the week is actually getting that DX today on that dipole in poor band conditions. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And Stuart,
Can I ask what dipole was it, Morten? The reason I ask is because when I was first licensed a few years back, I was very ignorant to loaded antennas, and I went out with an 80-meter dipole regularly to get on 80 meters, and that was a mission.
I did that too when I got first licensed. An 80-meter dipole takes up a lot of room. Now this is just a 20-meter dipole.
Okay.
I used to use
it was just to show how I built it in order to make a video on how to tune a dipole for new hams. And then, of course, I had to take it out and actually activate on it as well.
Yeah. I used a link dipole a lot, like a Sota Beams bandhopper, but I got the 80-meter version, which is 41 meters wide or something when you set it up. So it's not suitable for all locations, to say it that way. But it's amazingly good to work with, like a proper dipole. At least the SWR is good.
Yeah, and Tim says his cholesterol is too low for 80 meters. So give it a couple of years, Tim, and you'll probably be there.
Yeah, you'll have a bad knee and something else to complain about as well.
Yeah.
The fun thing was when I had chickenpox earlier this year, it was actually pretty fun to go on 80 meters and talk about how sick I was.
We're not perpetuating stereotypes at all, are we?
No, but we're not here to talk about 80 meters. We're here to listen to Stuart and hear what's going on with Station Master.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, there's a new version that went live today. So today I'm going to focus on the desktop app version. And are you sharing my screen?
I can put your screen up right now.
Right. So before I start, I just want a big thank you to all of these operators that have been helping test version 3 in our Discord. We've got a special channel there for the beta testers, and it's thanks to these guys that that it even exists as good as it is. So everything I show you here is basically the beginning of version 3. This is the future of Station Master on the desktop. This is all C++. The previous versions were built in .NET. First version was built in .NET. The second version was built in Electron, which is JavaScript. Hated it, absolutely hated working on it. It got me so far, but then, you get to a point where you detest working on the code base because it's JavaScript. I decided to just do it properly and just do it in C++. The reason being is a lot of the libraries that I want to interface with are all C++ libraries. You've got SDR Play baked into it. We've got Hamlib baked into it. There's other things that will come along as well. It is closed source, so I only work with libraries that are MIT or equivalent licenses. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to look at features. So what's new in Station Master version 3? Okay, so what we have here is a pan adapter scope. If I go full screen, you can see this pan adapter. And if we look up here, we can see we're connected to an FTDX 101 Delta. And those in the know will know that the Yaesus do not support pan adapters. So there is a SDR Play plugged into this with an SDR. Well, there is no SDR switch, because if you've got an FTDX 101D, you can actually plug the SDR Play straight into the back of the radio. Same with other high-end radios as well, like the dual VFO Kenwoods and things. So that's one of the bonuses of paying extra for an expensive radio. But hey, that's not for everyone, I know. So that pan adapter here is powered by the SDR Play on this version. So we've got that. That's completely new in version 3. What else have we got?
Can I just ask a question about that pan adapter feature, Stu? I actually looked at one of your videos earlier today, and I figured if you have a Flex, is there any way to interface the pan adapter from the Flex straight into the logger? or does that take a whole lot of magic and it's better and easier to get an SDR play?
I don't know the answer. Is the actual question. I know some users do use Flex, and I know the cat control will connect to it, but I don't know if there's a way to get the pan adapter.
There is a UDP port you can connect to get the stream, the video stream from the pan adapter. As far as I know, they've been talking about this on the ham radio workbench thing. So it's probably not an open or it's not a standard implemented by anyone else, but it is documented by Flex. So it should be possible to create, I think.
What it does do, if for people that use Fetus, Hermes Lite 2 crowd or SDR people. If you're using Fetus, you can tell Fetus to send the pan adapter information to Station Master via UDP, and that's what this bit here does. It's actually in XML format, which I don't, M1MM XML format, so it works with M1MM as well. So mainly or chiefly, it's designed to work with the ICOMs, the modern ICOMs 7300, 7610, and that sort of era. They all emit pan adapter data via the cat control, and you can tap into that. That works great. Yaesus don't do that. Some Kenwood do, hit and miss, which is why I'm plugged into the SDR play. But if you've got Fetus running, for example, N8SDR Rick in the chat there, he's been testing the Fetus integration for me. He's heavy on the SDR stuff, and he's been feeding a lot of information back, testing, and it works absolutely great. So if you're a Fetus operator, this is a really good logbook for you on the desktop because the integration is really good. The spots go backwards and forwards as well. So as spots come in, they'll go across to Fetus and show up on their pan adapter. So yeah, we've got this awesome new pan adapter. You can change the hue or the color to whatever you want. So you can go for a standard blue, literally whatever color you want there. You can adjust the levels really easily. You can cut out the background noise to clean it up, and you can slow it down, or you can go super fast, whatever you want. So that's completely new, and that's really good. And you've also got an FT8 version of this as well. So if you're doing FT8, you'll get the FT8 look of it, so that's pretty good. One thing, let me work down my list here. So one of the key features is you can connect up to 5 rigs. It could be more, but I've limited it to 5 at the moment. So 5 rigs, they can either be normal COM port controlled rigs, or you can connect to network rigs using the ham lib daemon. It will support that. And then you've got TCI here as well. So you can connect up to 5 rigs. I've only got 2 connected at the moment. I've got the FD-DX101D and the TCI Hermes Lite 2, and that's actually running Fetus, which is shut down at the moment, so that's not a good example. But you can very quickly switch between rigs. So if you've got multiple rigs running, one on 2 meters, let's say, one on HF, and you want to log contacts, you just switch here. You just switch over to your other rig. It'll instantly update everything for your log, and then you can search for them. So moving on to that, the new mapping features, VK2EX. We've got the new mapping features. This globe interface was in version 1. It was in version 2, but version 3 has a few more controls. So you can flip between 2D and 3D, which wasn't there before. You can turn off the night shadow. And you've also got auto zoom. So when you turn off auto zoom, it will keep the same zoom level when you search for the next call sign. If you have zooming on, it will apply an appropriate zoom for the distance. So if I type somebody MM0OPX Colin, it will zoom right in. So you see a sensible map there. And if we jump to Jim NX8T in the States, it will zoom out a bit so you can see the whole thing. And obviously you've got information here, so distance, last QSO, all that sort of stuff. One thing I haven't shown is, which is another thing on the list that's new in Station Master, and this gives me an opportunity, new in Station Master 3, gives me an opportunity to show how this version can be integrated into your current layout. So if you're using another logger, let's say you're using M1MM because you're contesting that day, you can have M1MM send its contacts to Station Master. It will still do all of the mapping in real time and show you all of the cool stuff on screen 2 while you're logging away for your contest on screen 1 or whatever. And you can drag all of these things out and integrate it into your existing workflow. So this is a powerful feature of this version. This was inspired by how M1MM lays its windows out by default. I figured, yeah, that's pretty good actually. But
That
what you
is
can...
So sweet. I just need to interrupt. When you spend half an hour setting up your windows like that, and you close the application, will it remember?
What you do... I'm glad you asked, Bob.
Yeah.
So what you do is you save a current layout, and you can
And you
call
give
it
a name. Oh, that's fantastic.
L2 or whatever,
great.
and it will save the layout. You can then switch to other layouts. So load saved layout, and you've got a list of all your layouts that you can switch back and forth, and it will save everything. Not only that, you know, so this could be a call sign. So let's say you're in a club, you've got different operators that want different layouts. You could save it as your call sign. Yeah, so when you go to the operating station, you've instantly got your own layout pulled up. You've also got profiles. A profile is just a call sign. So I've got a few in here for all the different call signs I've used over the last 6 months. And you just create a new one, call sign. It will reboot, new log, new everything, new templates. Everything's independent, you know, so you can switch call signs. So yeah, so when you switch profiles, you get all new everything. It's completely independent from the previous profile, and you can have multiple layouts in each profile. So yeah, you can, Bob. That's kind of the point, you know. We did have a similar thing in version 2. It was a bit buggy because it was built on Electron, and that's very difficult to make it do what you want it to do across platform as well. What else have we got on the list here? So you can actually hide these windows. So you can come up here to Windows. Let's say we don't want that. We don't want the audio visualizer. We don't want the digital the S meter. We don't want the contact timeline. But what we do want is the mode and band. So you can switch bands. We do want, you've got I've forgotten what it's called now, webcam widget, video feed. This isn't going to work because I haven't got the video feed plugged in, run out of USB plugs. But let's say you've got a Yaesu or a radio that has a DVI out. You could put a little $12 capture card into your computer and display, you know, the screen of the radio on your computer.
Sweet.
Nice. I see that you have a dark mode on by default. I know a lot of people will ask, like, do you also support Daywalker mode, or is it only dark mode?
It's not. It's not there yet.
Yeah, but I love that it's there by default. That's the best thing to have. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's there will be a light version, but it will be customizable as well. You'll be able to set whatever colors you want. But at the moment, the reason I focused on dark mode is because when I'm testing on Windows 10, the dark theme on that works very differently to Windows 11. It's a completely different architecture, and it's really difficult to make it look good on there and a Windows 11. So I've kept it on dark mode during development to make sure it's perfect on Windows 10 as well. But I will be adding a theme within the themes. You'll be able to set all the colors for everything, fully customizable. But it's not there yet. Was that a question popped up there? Or
it was just a comment from William here. He wonders if there will be skins like Windows Media Player had at some point.
Yeah, I like those skins. You had the crazy green head, didn't you? The alien thing. I remember that.
Or Winamp.
Yeah, Winamp. I think I've got Winamp running here, actually. Yes. Yeah, I will be adding theme support. You know, those that use Fetus know that you can set background images and all that sort of thing. That's the kind of thing, you know, I'm thinking of to be able to do as well. But it's not super high up the priority list. Obviously, core functionality is the key at the moment. Once all that's baked in, then we can worry about tying it up with some cool new enhancements. But other things, we've covered layout, we've covered maps, and what else have we got? CW. This wasn't in any of the previous versions. So let's close these, go full screen. This is a full CW decoder. I'm not tuned to CW, but let's see if we can make it work. There we go, somewhere around there. Start decoding. I'm probably not going to be able to get the right speed for this to work properly, but you set the speed here. and then it will start decoding CW. It's never going to work because it's a demo, and it just never does it? So we'll not worry about that. But you can also, it's basically for contesting. And George, Sugar Bravo 7 Sugar, has basically driven the development of this, telling me exactly how it should work in terms of logging. So if you're a hardcore CW computer-based, for logging, maybe not receiving, but for sending CW, this should work as well as any of your other loggers that you might have tried in the past. There's a number of cool features there. So if I press F1, it's going to send my thing, and it's going to do macros as well. And you can see it's sending the red line as it's sending things. And it doesn't actually replace the macro until it reaches it. So you can start sending before you've even set the report. Oh, if I said it correctly. There we go. That's a strange report, I know, but it proves the point. So yeah, we've got CW in there. Go on, Morten.
Just a question. Since you have a keyer for CW, do you have a voice keyer in there? Because some of us have really expensive radios that somebody didn't think a voice keyer was necessary on.
No, I don't at the moment, but I am going to add it. So in previous versions, I had in fact, the version you're currently using, Morten, has a voice recorder and playback. I don't know if you've got it enabled or tried it.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, so you can record somebody talking to you, you can play it back to them, so you can tell them what they sounded like, and you can also log that as an MP3 with the QSO, so you can go back and listen to it later. That's not yet in this version. It's the one thing I've not done. In version 2, you can record the whole QSO, and it will save it as MP3, and you can go back and play it back later. And it even puts it on the Station Master Cloud website, so others can listen to it. And there's also a kind of an email QSLing system that will allow you to automatically send your recording of every QSO you have to the person that you spoke to, if you want, optional. That's all built into the cloud-based features as well. But that's not actually here yet. It will be within the next week or so. One thing probably worth mentioning, we've got SSTV. So if you're running MMSSTV or Ionic, it will automatically import your SSTV images, and when you log them, so if I highlight these three here and just do a test, M1 test, and if I log this, let's just log it as a test, that will log those in the log, and we can see some for the tech people in there, we can see a JSON list of the images that it's logged on that QSO. This should display it as little thumbnails. It will do once I finish, but at the moment it's just doing that. But what it has done, it has uploaded it to the Station Master dashboard. For those that haven't seen it, this is what that looks like. So anybody viewing the dashboard would be able to click on this contact that I've just made, and they will see the SSTV images that I just logged as part of that contact. There is a leaderboard over here for SSTV. I've not come up yet because I didn't actually log it as SSTV. But while we're looking at the actual website, this is the Station Master Cloud portal dashboard. I guess it's similar maybe to the POTA home screen where you see what's going on. This is a Station Master equivalent. It shows everybody that's on air at the moment. And if we look hard enough, we'll find me somewhere on 20 meters. There I am here. If we zoom in, where are we? I'm there. And if I turn my VFO, you can see it changing in real time. How cool is that?
That's so nice.
That's cool.
If I change mode, it will change mode. And you can even see what direction I'm turning my beam. If I turn my beam, I'm currently 120 degrees. I'll turn it, I've just turned it to about 60 degrees. So that'll update in a second. That isn't real time yet, but it will be once I've updated that bit of code. So we can see that I'm beaming a certain direction. One thing we didn't actually cover, let me just put that back over there, rezoom it to the right level. One thing we didn't cover was the window is the rotator controls. So we pull that over here. It will support up to 2 rotators. So we put one over here, and window 2, we can have that one over here. And what happens is, as you search for somebody, so we search for Rowley, ZL1BQD, it will automatically look him up. It will go short path 9 degrees. And if I want to beam to Rowley, if we bring up his QRZ page, if I want to beam to Rowley, I just hit the turn button here, and it will start turning my beam automatically. You'll see that updating. So that's automatic now. I'm not touching the rotator. And as we'll search for somebody else, NX8T. And again, the red line is, that's pointing to the person that potentially you might want to turn the beam to. The blue line is where the physical beam is going at the moment. So yeah, I do plan to have an auto beam switch. So let's say, I don't know that it's really necessary, to be honest. How often do you turn your beam in reality? If you're beaming Pacific and somebody comes off the side of the beam, it's very rare that you would actually turn your beam, because it's going to be a quick contact and then you want to go back to where you were really aiming for. So auto beaming, I'm not sure. I did think of a cool idea called beam sync. So let's say you've got 2 operators and they both happen to bump into each other using Station Master 3 on the airwaves. Station Master knows they're talking to each other. It could automatically beam them both to each other. Beam sync, beam lock. I quite like that. So that's
Stuart, talking about beams. Will there be support for ultra beam or step IR?
I don't know what the specifics are for those beams, but it's standard. It uses a ham-lib rotator interface set. So if your beams are supported by the standard list that's here, then it should work.
No, I don't mean the rotator. I mean the ultra beam or the step IR itself. So to move the elements. When I change bands, for example, the elements are moving.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm using a third-party software called PST Rotator from a guy in Romania.
Yeah, I have it. And one of the things I plan to do and one of the beta testers has asked for this, is to have Station Master update PST Rotator to automatically control whatever it's doing. So that is coming. It doesn't do it yet. Sorry, and there's a question there about Windows.
Yep.
Well, there is this version 3 is Windows only, and that's purely because I am only one man. There are only so many hours in a day, and I've not yet got to the point of porting making it build on Linux and Mac. So version 3, which went live today here, is Windows only at the moment. That will, I would hope within 6 to 8 weeks, there will be Linux and Mac binaries for that as well, or installers. Station Master version 2, the previous version that you're using, Mort, that is cross-platform. Windows, Mac, and Linux. The original .NET version, a lot of people still use that. A lot of people still very happy with it, but that is kind of deprecated now. If you're on version 1, I would highly recommend jump to version 3, because you will find it very similar to version 1, but on purpose. So yeah, we do love Linux and Mac. It's just not enough hours in the day to do everything at once. So the Windows binary or build came first, unfortunately, for the the Bill Gates haters. Sorry.
I think that's a fair priority to have the Windows Windows users area. They're the majority. Develop that first, but apparently then you're using some sort of framework that will make porting this to Mac OS and Linux fairly easy. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's built using Qt, if you've ever heard of it. It's donkey's years old. WSJTX is built using Qt. Many ham applications that are cross-platform are built on the Qt framework. And that's what I'm using here.
I have some colleagues using that for projects, and as I understand, it's a fairly solid, well thought out system. So yeah, good. Probably a very good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And bear in mind that the versions that see the light of day are minimal compared to how many versions I've built. to test various different architectures and platforms. You know, there's a version I built in C++ using almost like a gaming interface. That got me so far. I learned a lot along the way. It was worth doing, but I had to sack that off. And I also tried, I forgot, what was the other one? I've completely forgotten. But there was another one, Maui, .NET Maui, supposed to be the Windows' new answer, sorry, Microsoft's latest answer to .NET development on the desktop. Don't bother. Do not bother, honestly.
We're talking about languages. Did you know C++ already, or did you pick that up for this purpose? Because I'm just the reason I asked the question. I'm completely convinced that C++ is just a practical joke. It's a cruel practical joke put on humanity. Is this something you did already, or did you pick up C++ just for this project?
I've had to pick it up a lot. I've been coding since I was about 8 years old, so I wouldn't say that I'm a lot of people attach themselves to a certain language or platform. I don't. I'm a developer that uses the right tool for the job on the day, and I will try lots of different things until I find the right tool. And I've ended up on C++.
And you're happy? You're fairly happy with that? Because that's
absolutely.
been my problem. I'm as you. I enjoy learning new languages, and I think the one I enjoyed the least was C++. That's really the reason I asked.
Yeah, but if you're talking about C++, the question is which C++? 98, 11, 14, 17, you know, it's just ever evolving, ever changing, ever mutating new language constructs, which makes it very hard to say you're a C++ expert.
Well, to be honest, with using a framework like Qt, that does wrap up a lot of the, you know, you're using a framework, you're not really programming the language, you're working with the framework. It's like web frameworks like Laravel. You know, you can learn Laravel and you can make websites in PHP, but you are not a PHP developer. If you take Laravel away, you're screwed. And it's the, you know, it's the same with this. It's the same with Qt.
And welcome to the European software development show, guys.
Come on, yeah, a piece of software. This is within reason.
Yeah, and you can say the same, like with .NET, like it's constantly evolving and changing, or C#. So, like, there's never going to be one version. Like, it's always going to change, unless you stick to Fortran or COBOL or something that's actually good.
Well, Fortran, yeah.
There is
okay,
a question.
I have 2 questions about the software, and I'm sorry if this is an unfair question because you just released version 3 today, but the question will come from others as well. For the scope support, RTL SDR, any chance of getting that working? Because everybody has one.
I spent 3 days solid trying to make that work, and I had to stop because I just couldn't get it to work. I do want to make it work, and it will happen one day, but I just had to stop and prioritize things that I could actually progress.
Right, no problem. I just asking. And the other ancient technology that everybody wants to forget, OmniRig support for for controlling your rigs.
Right. Okay. This is a complicated one. OmniRig is supported, but not as a primary way to connect to the radio directly. I am going to add that because I know people want it. So I am going to add it, but you will lose functionality if you do that because it becomes the weak link in the chain. A lot of the features on this
it's
new
a very
version
ancient protocol, and it has deficits.
It basically has limited cat functionality. It has read frequency, read mode, set frequency, set mode, maybe PTT. I think that's it. That's all it does. That's all you get out of the box. Station Master wants to do more than that. It wants to read your signal levels, your SWR. It wants to do all sorts of cool stuff. So by using OmniRig, you basically immediately
you're
disable.
limiting yourself to the absolute basics of cut control. That's what you're saying, huh?
Yeah, but I will add it because I know some people don't care about these fancy features. They just want it to work, and I get that. So I will add it.
I have a follow-up question for that, because what would be the reason to use OmniRig in favor of Hamlib? Are there still something that's supported only in OmniRig?
I think what it is a lot of people are so used to working a certain way. They use OmniRig, and then they have all their apps connected to OmniRig. OmniRig
right.
connects to the
Exactly.
radio. Okay, but what happens?
So it's basically you have 20 apps. You always select OmniRig, your rig 1 or 2, and then it just works, sort of.
Yeah. But what you can do in this version of Station Master is you can connect OmniRig to Station Master. So connect Station Master to your radio, connect OmniRig to Station Master, and all your other apps will continue to work as they did before. The difference being you can now switch rigs instantly.
Right. So basically,
Station Master.
Station Master is the Station Master is in effect the master,
The radio.
right?
It is, exactly. It is the master of your station.
Yep.
In here, you have this third-party apps. I've called it that because there's other programs out there that have a similar feature. They call it the same name, and I want to make it as easy as possible for people to understand what's going on. So we have this third-party apps section. You can set up OmniRig with Comocom to talk to Station Master, and then you can connect all your WSJTX and all that other stuff. So OmniRig is supported. It's just a slightly different configuration to what you're used to.
Okay, so basically
at the
Station
moment.
Master is the first thing in the chain, and everything else is then forwarded from Station Master.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of guys, like I said earlier, a lot of these beta testers have been testing all of this functionality. They've got lots of crazy setups, probably more complicated than most, and it is all working fine. So we're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get WSJTX or SSTV working alongside this, or all the other programs that people typically use in the shack. These beta testers are using those programs as well, and they've got it all to work. So it's not having OmniRig as a direct means to connect to the radio is not proving a limitation. You just have to think about it a bit differently.
Okay, yeah, completely understandable. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, it's really sometimes strange how very old, ancient programs just stick around because they fix a specific problem. Yeah, but they are never, developed any further. I think there was a few years ago there was an attempt to do a OmniRig version 3, which was completely incompatible to the version 2 and died, basically.
Yeah. When I first started building ham software, I was trying to work with OmniRig version 2. It was actually Matt from TechMinds that said to me, he said, "Can you support version 1, please? Because all of my SDR software only supports version 1." So I had to redo it all. So yeah.
But this looks, I mean, Stuart, I need to go after the show. I need to upgrade to version 3 straight away. I can see that right now. There are a couple of questions from the viewers here. And James asked if it supports the PAN adapter on the IC7600.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know. But
there's we talked a little bit about this backstage, but I don't want to ignore Tim completely here either, Stuart. And about portable functionality without any internet access.
Yeah, so Tim's referring to the mobile app. And I know Tim on one of his live streams, he did actually try to use the Station Master, the old Station Master mobile app while live. And because he was live streaming at the same time, there just wasn't the bandwidth for the app to work and the live stream. So he didn't get on well with it. The plan is, Tim, there's a new version of the mobile app coming out. It's my next priority, basically. Now this is out the door. I want to get the mobile app up to spec. I've ignored it for the last year. I've always planned to make it work offline, update the UI so it's more in line with what you expect, what you might see in other popular loggers, such as Hammers, for example. I want it the user interface, user journey, if you like, to be more similar to what you expect, and for it to be fully offline compatible as well. So if you're using the mobile app on your tablet or your phone or iPhone, then yeah, that's not, it's not a good experience at the moment. It works for some, many do use it. It works for their use case. But for the likes of you, Tim, I would hang fire, give it 3 to 6 months, and we'll have you sorted.
That's
a
a
good
really
answer.
good, really good answer. And main girl Marion here says that this seems complex to a new ham. And I can tell you, Marion, as far as I understood when you guested our show, you have N1MM running. I think if you manage to get N1MM up and running, Station Master is going to be a whole lot easier.
Absolutely. It really is. I can remember the first time I set up N1MM. You've got the logs, you've got the databases, you've got the templates to set up. It's an absolute nightmare, isn't it? Once you're up and running, great. You know, it's brilliant at contesting. I don't think anyone comes close with the scorings and whatever it has.
Yep.
But yeah, initial onboarding is not good. Station Master, I've tried to make it as simple as possible. There's, you know, it doesn't ask you to enter anything you don't actually need to get up and running. When you first install it, you just set up your rig, put your call sign in. That's pretty much it. You're up, you know, you're up and running. You can then go back and add in additional settings. So, for example, you can go back into settings. You can put into your accounts. You can put in your QRZ username and password. That will give you accurate locator lookup, name lookup, all that sort of stuff. Logbook integration, which you get through the Station Master Cloud anyway. It'll automatically update to QRZ. EQSL, same story. It'll automatically upload there if you want, so it's saving you time. And Log of the World as well. So if you want to, you know, export or upload to Log of the World, it will support that straight from the desktop. Similar to what other loggers do, I know, but it's there, it's built in. So yeah, the few minutes it takes you to get set up, you'll save that time and time again, manually syncing things all over the place, which I know a lot of people still do. So yeah, certainly easier than N1MM, Morten.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say, when I finally made the decision to switch from my other logger to Ham Radio to Station Master, the reason I put it off for a year and a half was that I had something that was working and I just didn't want to take the time. But it took me, I think, 8 minutes to get everything up and running, including importing the database. So don't be afraid. It's easy to get up and running.
Yeah, and if you're on a previous version of Station Master, if you upgrade to version 3, once you've installed it, all you do is go to import log from cloud all time, and it will automatically down your logbook from Station Master Cloud because it's already there. So you don't have to do anything. You know, super simple.
Yeah, I can confirm. I just clicked the button while you were speaking.
But when you upgrade, can you keep the old version as well, or can you have both of them at the same time?
Version 1, 2, and 3 are completely different applications. They run in different folders. There's no cross-contamination of any files whatsoever or settings. They're completely independent by design because, you know, different people want to run different versions. Will there be DRM for the SSTV side? What's DRM? Digital Rights Management? Is that what we're talking about?
That was my thought as well.
Me too. Yeah, let's hope not.
And since it's William, it might be just a joke.
I have a few follow-up questions to some of the things you said. You talked about the mobile app. Will that be both Android and iOS?
Yep. Yeah, cross-platform. My mobile apps, for anyone that's interested, my mobile apps are built using Flutter, which is a Google technology. It's been around for a good few years now, very stable. It's a very powerful programming language called Dart, which compiles down to a native code, doesn't it? So it's a lot faster than things that are built on JavaScript type frameworks. So yeah, it's cross-platform.
Very nice. And
William said that DRM is digital SSTV.
Oh, okay. I know.
I've never heard of it. There's yet another thing I need to spend way too much time looking into now. Thank you, William.
Well, a quick answer.
Maybe
to that
that's
is,
a separate show about digital SSTV.
I think so.
I don't actually know. I watch Tech Minds Matt a lot. Tech Minds a lot, and I know Matt did a new thing on a new program for SST. It's not SSTV, is it? It's basically television.
Digital amateur radio TV, isn't it, or something like that?
So I guess that's not the same thing, is it?
No, I don't think so, because that's fast scan TV. I mean, it's regular TV on the amateur frequencies, as far as I know.
Okay, I'll have to look into this digital SSTV because I've never tried it. So yeah, I can't see that it'll be a problem. If it's doable, then I will add it. No problem.
Yeah. Also, I think I mentioned this when we announced this show last week, and has to do with importing or particularly exporting. The idea of actually having all my data stored on someone else's service like yours. I don't mind doing that at all, and I don't mind there are lots of people that are object to this, but I'm of the opinion as long as it's not being kept prisoner, as long as I can always export that data back, then it's not really a problem. So I'm assuming I'm seeing there's an export and an import tab. I'm assuming that both importing your logs from other software and exporting it right back is trivial.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever you like. I'm not gonna hold anyone to ransom on their own data. I don't think you can you? It's illegal.
I don't know, but you can always do just allow downloading in some strange JSON format or something. That's completely useless to everyone. So, but ADIF, if you can download data in ADI format,
you can go to the website, which is here, and export. You can import from QRZ if you've got a QRZ subscription that allows you to do that, or you can export your whole by date range or whatever. You can do what you like. I'm not trying to, lock anybody in or anything. My philosophy is, I want to be completely open with Station Master. Integrate with any other system that will allow it. It's not a walled garden. I'm not trying to trap people into my ecosystem. I want to play well with every other logging platform out there that will play well with me. There's enough room in the market for us all to play nicely together. There's a lot out there that are not doing that. I don't agree with those platforms. I'm not going to name names. I'm not one of them.
That's very good. I wasn't suggesting you were doing anything bad. I just wanted to make sure, and also to inform everyone that it's a safe place to keep your log file. They're not going to disappear, and you're not going to have to pay to download them, and it's not going to be in some strange format where you can't use it. And that's
it's all up in the server. The logs on the servers are updated. Fully backed up 3 times a day. So everything on the actual cloud side, 3 times a day, fully backed up to offsite, to separate locations. So the chance of it being completely disappeared is very slim. Yeah, there's always a chance that you can never say never with tech, but I go above and beyond. But
then you could also do a local backup of your log, so you should be pretty safe nonetheless.
I'm guessing you actually have a local backup of the log as well. So at any given time, the software probably keeps a local copy, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your own offline database. So your desktop app is running its own database. It just syncs with the cloud, which is another copy. And if you have the mobile app, it will sync to that as well. So you've got various versions of your own data. So if anything, when you're connected to Station Master Cloud, even if you're using Log4OM, M1MM, Ham Radio Deluxe, all the other loggers, they could all plug in and send their data to Station Master, and it can keep copies of your data to keep them secure for you.
Yeah, that's sensible. This is that sort of architecture is one of the reasons I like Dropbox for file distributions, because that keeps all my files on all my computers, and it just syncs them between them. So in case of Dropbox suddenly disappearing off the face of the earth, I'd still have my data on all my computers. So that's very, very sensible. It's a very good thing.
There are cloud services that doesn't do it that way.
Absolutely. Last couple of questions. I don't think you touched on this, but integration with Logbook of the World and QRZ, uploading, downloading, and keeping sync and confirmation and all that. Is that something built in at the moment?
It doesn't pull down and show you confirmations in your logbook. That is something I'm going to add. It does allow you to export to Log of the World. So, for example, if I go here, upload to Log of the World, I'll just do entire log, click OK. And then that's in the background over here on my other screen. Oh, it wants to update my TSQL. But anyway, it's launched. It's launched
Yep.
Log of the Worlds program in the background to upload the logs.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've all been there, Stuart.
that's a genuine logbook of the world behavior right there. So
Yeah. And Steve's looking forward to the Linux version there, Stuart.
Yeah, I think I might actually get the Linux version up and running next. I've been watching, probably not a popular thing to say, but a Russian developer who's really good at Linux and C and C++. He's really motivated me to get into these lower level languages, really inspired me. So I do want to get a dedicated Linux machine set up for testing Station Master 3 and get that up and running. So yeah, I'm just as keen to get these other platforms on Station Master 3 as well. So it will happen very quickly.
very cool.
Excellent. And I see we're past the hour mark now. Thank you so much for coming on, Stuart, and talking about Station Master.
Thanks for having me.
It's been interesting, and I know for sure that the first thing I'm going to do now, once we're off air, is download version 3. And let's do a quick poll in the chat. Who is sold on the idea of the Station Master? Please let us know in the chat. And
Type one in the chat.
Yeah,
I'll start. I'll be the only one.
I'm going to join you here. So let's see if anyone joins up. Actually,
Yeah.
I voted for the entire show. So
Well done, Hagrid, Steve.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, excellent.
yeah, seems like at least we're getting somewhere here, and that's good because I've been using Station Master at home exclusively now for a couple of months, I think, and it's been smooth running all the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been testing it out a bit on since the last stream, but I mostly go outside, so I'm also in that camp. But for if I was at home and had a big rig or like a good setup at home, this would be my choice as well. So it's really cool to see what progress you're making there.
No, it's good. It's exciting times, isn't it? Go ahead, Bob.
No. I was just going to agree with everyone saying nice things about your software. This is looking very, very impressive. So I'm looking forward to me as well. I operate mostly portable, so looking forward to some developments on that front. And if that doesn't happen soon, then I think this winter I will have to get my QO100 dish up, and then at least I can operate from home, free of most of the noise around here.
Excellent. Thank you so much again, Stuart. We're going to be back next week, and I don't think we have a topic for next week.
QO100, I reckon.
That'd be a cool topic. Yeah.
That'd be a cool topic. I've only tried QO100 once. I do not have the competence to talk about it.
No, with neither guests.
I've been in another show or in another shack and done one QSO on it. So Steve asked if we can talk about DRM next week. I don't think I have time for that much research. Well, we'll figure something out. If not, we'll just talk ham radio for an hour. I'm guessing that's going to work as well.
Or I have an idea. We could get Steve on since he knows about it.
Yeah, he can tell us all about it.
Yeah, +1.
About DRM?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I have no clue. So that's educational lesson. I'm always happy to take one.
Yeah, we get the day off.
Charlotte's got a suggestion here. If you're serious, Charlotte, we'll take you up on it. I'm guessing we have some stories to share as well.
Yep. Antenna build catastrophes. That's that could be a very good show.
That is a very good topic. We'll do that next week. So
very good.
7-3 guys. See you down the bands and see you in our next show.
7-3.